In every sport, there's the ultimate championship. The quest to be the very best. Now, 5 players are just 90 minutes away from fulfilling a dream of a lifetime. Let's meet our finals field of 5. In our opening match, he has an opportunity of joining an elite group with 2 Tournament of Champions victories. David Ozio. He'll take on the Chief. He won earlier this year in Albuquerque to qualify for this prestigious event. Brian Himmler. In the number 3 position, a 5-time titleist, one of 2 veterans in the field, Roger Bowker. Next up, making his 10th TV appearance of 1999, Jason Couch. And our tournament leader, making his first TFC appearance, reigning Rookie of the Year, Chris Barnes. Welcome to Incredible in Overland Park, Kansas. It's the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, and what a display of bowling this week. Hi everyone, I'm Phil Ferguson. Talk about bowling strike fest here in Overland Park, Kansas. 16 300 games. It took an average of better than 238 to make our finals field of 5. Let me bring in my partner. He's won the Tournament of Champions a couple of times, 1976, 1986, Marshall Holman. Marshall, the significance of winning this huge event.
Well, I think the main significance of the Tournament of Champions is just being one of the elite people to have won. It's a great, great honor, not to mention the $100,000 on top. And bowlers will be thinking about that a little bit, but the main focus is getting that trophy.
Speaking of on top, the top-seeded player for this tournament hasn't fared very well on the fall tour. Chris Barnes making his first televised appearance of the Firestone of the Tournament of Champions, so a huge tournament.
Well, you know, and Chris Barnes, he's had some problems this fall. He was very, very hot earlier in the year and really was a candidate for Player of the Year, but I really think that Parker Bone III has pretty much wrapped that up. But Chris Barnes had problems. He's worked them out. He was very, very consistent, especially in the match play portion of the tournament. He averaged over 250 for the 24 games of match play. Just a phenomenal run. And he took that lead in the very last game. So Chris Barnes, he's the one on top, but there are 4 very, very talented players itching to get to that title match. Back to you, Phil.
All right, thanks a lot, Marshall. And the opening match here in the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. David Ozio taking on Brian Himmler. And for Ozio, it's been a while since he's been in the winner's circle. 1995 when he won the Dick Weber Classic in Richmond, Virginia. He's made 3 shows this year, 11 titles overall.
The straight trajectory of David Ozio, the classic form, starting out with a strike.
The exciting Brian Himmler, if he gets it going, look out.
Well, you'll see a much different form, much more of a contemporary power player. A light hit for Ozio, carries, and then the Chief comes right back with that light hit, scattering the pins.
Himmler with the 1 PBA national title that qualified him for the Tournament of Champions, 5 regional championships through a couple of 300 games this week. Second frame. Light.
10-pin not responding. It'll be no better than a spare for Brian Himmler in the second frame. We'll see the ball going down the lane, making the break hard into the pocket. 6-pin lays in the channel, and the messenger goes in front of the 10-pin. He'll throw hard and straight at the 10.
No problem making that spare in the second frame for Himmler after opening up with a strike. Now Ozio, 45 years old, out of Beaumont, Texas, won the 91 Tournament of Champions.
copy of his first strike, coming in light once again, Phil. Ozio fired up. Ball coming in late, but just hooks up enough to scatter around. Those are the 3-pound, 10-ounce pins.
And this is the first tournament they used the gold pins throughout the entire tournament.
And there was a lot of the guys thought that because the pins were moving so fast that they actually kind of helped this week. Now the 2 and the 5 will not fall. And, you know, for Ozio coming in light in the first and second frames, Phil, I'm really kind of surprised that he didn't make an adjustment to get his ball a little fuller up into the pocket. There's Lisa Ozio, David's wife. Saying hi to her mom, I believe.
Almost a backup ball.
Well, Ozio, a very talented player, keeping it on line. Lisa pleased to see the spare, but she'd love to have a strike there.
Himmler up in the 3rd frame, down by 8. Just the 7-pin.
Kind of unlucky for Himmler as this ball goes down the lane. You see just a lot of pins scattering around toward that 7. But he thinks it's got a good chance. Didn't quite get there.
No problem with that spare.
You know, Brian Himmler and David Ozio, they've got some history together. Many years ago when Brian was just in his early teens, David Ozio did a bowling camp, and Brian was the student, David the teacher, and now Himmler trying to teach Ozio a lesson.
Himmler again won earlier this year in Albuquerque. Defeated Chris Barnes for the championship. Barnes on top this week.
Very similar to the last frame. Ball coming in late. A lot of oil on the lanes this week, Phil. You don't see the big back ends, the big hard turn into the pocket. Right tight up to those pins. You'll see the 5-pin, the last to go. 7-pin standing there solid.
So a spare in the 4th frame for Himmler. Himmler trails by 10 in the opening match of the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Boy, those ribs look good.
I'm hungry.
Ozio up in the 4th frame.
He's taking a re-rack. Didn't like the way the pins were spotted. And generally, Phil, what they look at, the pros, is the 1 and the 3-pin on the right-hand side. Might have been a little bit closed, too close together, or maybe opened up a little too far apart. Very important to have the pin sitting just right. Probably more important from a mental standpoint.
How many re-racks a game are you allowed?
Only allowed 2. So Ozio's down to just 1. Solid 10-pin. Boy, he liked that off his hand. Now let's take a look at a Dexter footwork of the pros, and David Ozio's got as beautiful an approach as anybody you're ever going to see. 5 steps, heel toe, nice solid shoulder high backswing, and a good slide. Just as good as you'd like to see it. That's a Dexter footwork of the pros, and Ozio takes care of the 10-pin.
So a 9-pin advantage for Ozio after 4 frames.
Certainly Ozio's best shot in the 4th frame with a solid 10.
Moves it up light.
Well, he comes up light, and, you know, I really feel like, you know, the importance of this tournament makes each shot that much more difficult to throw, that much more probable that you're going to squeeze it a little bit more and not get the good loose roll.
Ozio said, no comparison, biggest tournament of the year, best of the best.
Take a look at the Ozio family. That's Heather, Haley, and Lisa Ozio, mom. They're all excited about watching David bowl today. God, I've known those girls since they were born. They're growing up.
You never get older. Himmler, strike in the 5th frame. Coming right back.
Himmler making his best shot of the match here in the 5th frame.
Himmler 9 and 8 on television, .213 average and 9 appearances. His 3rd TV appearance this year. Won in Albuquerque, finished 4th at the track Dexter Open in Canandaigua 300 game this week.
Strike here can take the lead. Brian Himmler flush in the 5th frame and flush again in the 6th frame. And he's pumped up.
Ozio, 2 strikes to start the match and then 3 spares.
Now, Ozio's not just going to let Himmler walk away with this. Trailing by 3 pins. I believe he's asking for another re-rack, and at least he got him out of the way.
Sometimes I like to save him maybe for the 9th and 10th frames, in case maybe off spot just a bit.
Well, I would think generally you would, but he wants to do it right now. He wants to make sure he gets an opportunity to get through this match. Excuse me, Phil.
First-time qualifiers. Chris Barnes, of course, on top. Brian Himmler seated 4th. Jason Hurd, boy, he had 3 300 games this week. And Dave Watka, Mark Masabi, Rick Lawrence, who ran the table to win his very first tournament. And Tommy DeLutz, Ozio up in the 7th. And slices him off the table there. 7-pin. Knocks it out. A double for Ozio. Himmler down by 7. And we're back here in Overland Park, Kansas. Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Brian Himmler down by 7, working on a double up in the 7th frame, taking on David Ozio. The winner to face Roger Bowker.
Both players seem to have settled in the last couple of frames. Himmler's last 2 shots, high flush in the pocket. That's got to hurry. Oh, and it does.
So that's 3 in a row for Himmler. Himmler with 3 in a row. Ozio with 2 in a row. A 3-pin advantage for Himmler. Wow. Ringing 10-pin.
Now Himmler swung that ball a little further to the right. It made the hard charge back up in the pocket, but the 6-pin goes around the bottom of the 10-pin. The nemesis, the ringing 10.
Himmler right now clinging to a tenuous 2-pin lead over Ozio. Picks up the spare.
Brian's wife, Alicia, who flew in from Cincinnati to watch Hubby Bowl. She'd have been smiling even more had that 10-pin fallen.
Ozio up in the 8th frame, working on a double. Gets him to go.
Ozio getting excited. Ball come in light into the pocket. The 5-pin will go to the left. It'll take out the 4 and the 7. That's 45 years of experience getting pumped up.
And he's up by 8, heading into the 9th frame. Ozio Player of the Year in 1991 when he won over $225,000, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 95.
Get it! Boy, and getting the light roll of the pins. I really would have thought Ozio would have made an adjustment to get further into the pocket, but, well, he likes it light right now. Taking advantage of the light hit, the powerful ball, shaking him up. I think he liked it.
Himmler up in the 9th, down by 18.
Oh, yeah. 7 pin, the last pin to fall over. He tripped the 10 out, and that's what the bowlers look at, is if the 10 is going to fall on the right-hand side. It tripped out the 7 pin, the last one to fall. Himmler with the opportunity to shoot 237. Ozio can shoot 255, so Ozio certainly in the driver's seat, but
not over. Down by 8.
now that strike right there forces Ozio to at least mark in the 10th frame. One more strike, Ozio would have to throw a strike in the 10th frame to win this match. Watch the power of Himmler as it comes back into the pocket, just slices him up. He's got a lot of fire on his own, too.
Second shot in the 10th frame for Himmler.
To take the lead. He's got it.
All right, possible 237 for Himmler with a strike here.
And right now, Himmler needs to get 8 pins. 8 pins would force Ozio to throw the first strike in the 10th frame. 7 pins, there actually could be a tie.
We're average 227 on this television pair this week.
26-year-old Brian Himmler.
10 pin.
That's enough. 236 for Himmler. Ozio right now needs a strike. Anything less, Himmler will go on to face Roger Bowker.
So Ozio taking a little extra time. Biggest shot he's had in years.
Without a doubt, blowing out a little air, trying to compose himself. Oh, and a 7-10, unbelievable shot for David Ozio, high flush in the pocket. Brian Himmler will go on to our next match against Roger Bowker.
Boy, David Ozio put it right in the pocket.
Now watch this. This is flush into the pocket. I mean, just pass flush. 7 and the 10, very, very unusual. And a sigh of relief from Brian Himmler. He cannot believe it.
Well, Himmler has knocked out one opponent, that being David Ozio. However, a long way to go for the Chief. Next match, Himmler will go up against Roger Bowker. And we are set for match 2, just about ready to go. Brian Himmler over David Ozio, 236 to 221. Let's send it on down to my partner, Marshall Holman. Marshall.
All right, Phil, thank you. I am with Chris Barnes. And Chris, you know, with a few games to go last night, really didn't look like he had much of a chance to take the lead. What was going through your mind?
No, not really. I was about 250 pins behind Jason. He beat me pretty good in about the 5th game. And I was just trying. I was in the middle of a race with Himmler and Bowker, and I was just trying to hang on and trying to finish second, really.
Well, you have struggled this fall. You know, in the last 5 tournaments, we haven't seen you in match play at all. Have you been saving yourself for this tournament? What's the deal?
You'd like to think so. Maybe since I got married, we're just saving ourselves for the majors now. I don't know. But I struggled a little bit. I had a little giddy up in my timing. I worked with Pat Henry for a little while on the break in between a couple of tournaments and got some of that fixed. A little more oil this week favors what I like to do, and we made good on it this week. All
right, Chris, you look like you're ready to win the big one, so good luck to you. Back up to you, Phil.
Thanks a lot, Marshall. We're set for match 2. Brian Himmler taking on Roger Bowker. Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, the $100,000 top prize in this year's TFC, the richest in the history of this event, equals the largest payday in a professional bowling tournament. Roger Bowker. First shot. Sets it in the pocket. Strike for Bowker.
And if you think Ozio threw the ball straight, just watch Bowker. He just pipes it up the edge. Very direct.
A little bit from the old school. Just the 10 pin. Bowker 45 and Himmler 26.
Himmler just knocked off 45-year-old David Ozio, trying to send another veteran home.
Not many spares this week. Fans have enjoyed the action. Some high scores, Marshall.
Oh, scores were, but to give you an idea of high scores, Jason Hurd shot, I believe, the highest three-game set in PBA history when he shot 889 for 3 games.
Second frame. Getting some practice on the 10 pin.
Himmler a good spare shooter, but watch the head pin as it goes to the sideboard. It's going to go right in front of that 10 pin. And that's real frustrating for the pros. He thought he was going to get it, and zoom right in front, hard straight.
Picks up the spare. Second consecutive year Incredible has hosted this event, the Tournament of Champions. Was in Akron, Ohio for a long time. Brunswick took over sponsorship in '95, moved it to Chicago for a couple of years, and to the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, and for the past couple of years here at Incredible, and this is an incredible sight.
Popped out of that one. The release was not good for Bowker. You could hear that ball just pop off his thumb. See, sets the ball down right by the channel. It's going to creep in just a touch high, leave the 4 pin. Well, and get that same thing again, almost like maybe he needs to take a piece of tape out of that ball.
This particular venue, great to host this tournament. Danny Jackson, the proprietor, former Major League pitcher. Just a beautiful establishment.
And Danny and his staff do a very good job preparing for the tournament. It's a lot that goes into hosting the pros.
Roger Bowker just holds it with one hand, kind of like Wayne Webb used to do for a while.
Yeah, well, Carmen Salvino actually started that back in the late 70s.
Strike in the third frame for Bowker. So he goes strike, spare, strike. Himmler with a couple of spares.
There's a commissioner, Mark Gerbic, along with Fred Florjanik, the president of the Brundor Indoor Recreational Group, enjoying the action. And Himmler enjoying the action. Brian Himmler, he's got the game under his belt and just couldn't fit it in there any better. He knows it.
Himmler competing in his first Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, as is the player on top, Chris Barnes. Fourth frame, working on a strike.
Oh, yeah. Each shot, a little more confidence for Brian Himmler, and for Roger Bowker, he's going to have to figure out how to get that release to be a little cleaner. Brian Himmler right now, he's up by 9. Take a look at Roger Bowker and Brian Himmler, the difference between the two styles. Roger Bowker, he lays the ball down right by the channel, very, very straight trajectory. Brian Himmler, on the other hand, starts the ball in the middle of the lane, and he plays that big hook. Two different styles. Two guys both made it to the televised finals, so they're getting it done.
Both styles successful. Roger Bowker averaged .252 for 16 match play games yesterday. He was 8-8, averaging .252, finished 24th in last year's Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
Perfection for Bowker. Thumb still popping out of the ball. Apparently he's comfortable with it.
When you hear that sound, is it just a bit snug?
Well, that's indicative of the ball being a little bit tight around the thumb. And I always like to have my thumb hold tight, but I wanted to make sure that it would come out very, very quick. See Bowker position by round, always hanging around the top 5. Ultimately ended up 3rd.
That's got to lay off.
Said it had to hold. It did just that.
And that's what Roger Bowker was able to do the entire week. Shots that looked like they were going to be right through the nose. Sure, smile. The last pin to go down, it's the 7. That was really flush off his hand. That ball never hooked a board. Look at, surprised. That's the key there.
Himmler, 10 pin in the 5th frame.
Himmler down by 12 pins.
Left a few 10 pins tonight. Continues his mastery, picking up those 10 pins. You can access all the latest information about the PBA by checking out the PBA's website at pbatour.com. The site, sponsored by Brunswick, features all the latest tournament standings, stories, stats, news from the PBA, as well as game-by-game updates during match play and scheduled live chats with the pros. Himmler in the 6th.
Couldn't carry the flush hit, but he gets that light hit to strike as he take a look at Brian Himmler's mother and father, enjoying that one a lot more than the 10 pin they just watched.
Brad and Kathy Himmler, Brian's parents. Bowker's the type of player, too, that if he gets it going, he can strike all night.
It just doesn't seem as if Roger Bowker ever gets nervous. Now, he's got a game that is just as basic as you could ever see. Starts with just that one hand, doesn't use the left hand to balance the ball. Shoulder high backswing, and sort of spins it off his hand. Certainly nothing fancy about Bowker, but is he effective?
That's difficult for the average bowler to hold it with just the one hand. But he's making it work. Winner to face Jason Couch.
Well, he's good, Phil, and on that particular shot, he was lucky. Roger Bowker extends that lead to 32 pins over Brian Himmler. Can Himmler come back? He'll have to throw a lot of strikes to do it.
The Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
Himmler right now must strike here in the 7th frame. Bowker has 5 in a row. Pressure on Brian Himmler. Will the 10 fall? You bet it does.
Well, a double for Himmler. He mentioned last night that he had survived a 48-game strike-a-thon, make it one more match today, 49, but he's really in a dogfight. 8th frame, Himmler with a double. Bowker, after a strike spare, has ripped off 5 in a row. Started off a little slow, 10th place after the opening round, then caught fire.
And another solid 10 from Brian Himmler. Not much Himmler can do with that. Take a look at the high backswing for Brian Himmler. He shoots at the 10 pin. He's getting really good at that, but this week, spares too many of them. They leave you broke.
Pays a 217 for Himmler, can strike out for 237, but Bowker's filling up the boxes.
Bowker with all strikes except for the 2nd frame.
Hit! Yeah! Come on!
Bowker getting excited. Roger Bowker's put himself in a great situation. Very basic form, shoulder high backswing, down the lane, down the boards. Nothing but 10 in the pit and a happy Roger Bowker. Just needs to fill up frames right now, Phil. A couple of spares would do it.
In the 9th. Hold it a little bit.
Match not over. Brian Himmler looking at the scoreboard right now. He knows he's got life. This ball left off of Bowker's hand, goes right through the heart, the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 10. And for all intents and purposes, Phil, this is an impossible split. Could possibly get 3. Goes for the 2 on the left. Lead down to 15 pins.
So just like that, it appeared Bowker was going to run away with it.
And if Himmler were to strike out, he would force Bowker to get 2 strikes in the 10th to win this match. So, boy, 1 frame, and we're right back into a dogfight.
Come on, baby.
Himmler came through in the clutch in the last game, late in the game. He has the opportunity again, and a very similar situation. Ozio had the opportunity to strike to beat him. As you see, Himmler, 10-pin the last to fall. And he's intense.
Well, tell you what, his mom, Kathy, jumped out of her seat. I'd give her about an 8. She was almost on the approach with that shot.
For any chance, he needs this one in the 10th.
Oh,
my, we've seen some strange shots. Ozio in the 10th frame with a 7-10 flush in the pocket, and now Himmler, high flush in the pocket, 9 and the 10 stand.
That's just a funny leave on that type of hit, Marshall.
Very unusual.
He's got to fit it in here.
Now the best that Himmler can do is 217, and that's not to be. It's 205 for Brian Himmler. Roger Bowker, he's your winner. He's got 212 in the 9th frame. Didn't quite get enough hook to get over to the 9-pin. Almost a moot point at the time.
Bowker can shoot 242, and there's 1 strike as he slices the 5-pin into the 7. So Bowker, possible 242, and he will move on. Stumbled just a bit in the 9th.
Bowker, who's a veteran player, understands this game is over, but he wants to keep himself in good rhythm for the next match against Jason Couch, who, by the way, in practice, looked real strong. He had a nice line going into the pocket.
Just the 7-pin. A tremendous effort. Brian Himmler bowled awfully well. But Bowker will move on to the semifinal match. Bowker with a possible 232. About his week's average.
I think that is his week's average, and a little...
Good ball, too, man. Take it on in.
So Bowker with the spare, and he will move on. Coming up, International Stars versus Team USA in the Reichert Cup Finals. Roger Bowker, your winner. Tonight, our Brunswick Score More segment looks at a great international bowling competition, the Reichert Cup. Hi, everyone. Phil Ferguson, along with Marshall Holman. Marshall, International Stars going up against Team USA. Doubles and singles competition held prior to this event. Team competition today would decide it all.
Well, international squad down 6 points to 10. It's been since 1995 the Reichert Cup has been contested. International squad has never won. But in this tournament, they've taken a little bit of an early lead. And Leno Monticelli, the captain of the international team, putting the pressure on early. They win the first game. It's a 3-game match. And Leno Monticelli, and there's the American squad led by team captain Johnny Petraglia. But it was the international squad that put the pressure on early. Or Havaram from Israel, nice style, throws a great shot and really makes it almost impossible for the American team to come back. 66 pins was the deficit. United States team unable to do it. International team, they win the 1999 Reichert Cup.
All right, thanks, Marshall. We're not done yet. Bowling on ESPN. Catch the last PBA show of the 1999 fall season and of the century. Comes to us from the other side of the world, the Japan Cup from Tokyo. That'll be Saturday, December 11th at 5:30. Then the ABC Senior Masters kicks off the 2000 year. That'll be Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time, January 9th, followed by the National Senior Doubles, also in Reno, Sunday, January 16th, 12:30 starting time. Coming up, match 3, it will be Roger Bowker taking on left-hander Jason Couch. And we're back to Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, $100,000 to the winner. Roger Bowker taking on Jason Couch in the semi-final match.
And Roger was messing with his thumb hole during the commercial break, trying to get the proper feel. Didn't quite have it just the way he wanted. That ball down early. All the pins are gone, but still doesn't look quite comfortable with the feel of his ball. You know, sometimes you take a piece of tape out and it's loose. You put the piece of tape back in and it's too tight. You know, how do you make the compromise?
Couch from Claremont, Florida. 30 years old. Opening shot.
And Couch looked good in practice, and he looks good in the first frame of the semifinal match. Yeah, generally, I would go, as you see Jason Couch, he throws the big hook. There's 10 in the pit. And the reaction from Couch, oh, yeah.
Jason bowled strong all week. Didn't have a game under 200 until the 47th game. Led this tournament after each round and then lost in the final game.
Well, he was really only 2 games the entire week was he out of the lead.
And a double for Jason Couch.
Whew. Couch fired up. And I mean, this is as big as it gets in professional bowling. Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, the prestige, not to mention a couple dollars here and there.
A few bucks. Also, the winner earns a 5-year exemption into the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
For a double.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, if Roger wins tonight, he might be able to afford to move next door to Walter Ray Williams Jr. They both live in Ocala, Florida.
Our proprietors, hosts, Danny and Jody Jackson, really they've done a very nice job once again this year. That would be Danny on the right and Jody on the left. Wouldn't that be right, Phil?
Right now, Walter is running out of room to Roger. No, that's not true. Bowker up in the 3rd frame.
Hit.
Hold it.
Yeah. Come on.
Bowker throws the ball. First thing he yells is hit. He knows it's in the pocket off his hand. And does it hit? Yeah, I'd say so. Not much can go wrong when you put the ball there. Bowker likes it.
Well, all these players love the television pair. However, Jason Couch having 261 this week and starts off the semifinal match with 2 in a row.
One more to even up the match. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my. 8-pin standing, and then see you later.
Yeah, shooter. One time.
Ball will drive past the 8-pin. But I'm not sure what knocked it down, and I don't think Couch cares. He's just happy to have it.
His 10th television appearance of the year. Look at that. First all the way across the board. Final game, lost it to Chris Barnes. Trying to make it 4 in a row.
Messenger came back. The pin went in front of the 7-pin.
Good shot.
Interesting looking bowling ball that Couch uses for his spares. Kind of scary.
Well, looks maybe that was the opponent he beat in Bay City. Trying to pick up that spare.
First spare with the skull, baby.
Couch 3 in a row and a spare. Bowker with the first 3. Bowker still doesn't appear to be coming out of the ball cleanly. You hear a little pop every time, but it's working.
Almost trips out the 4-pin. He asked for the ball to hold that time. Here we see from directly behind Roger Bowker. Ball laid down very early. And maybe a little left of his target. Asking for it to hold. That means stop hooking. It doesn't respond. The spare to tie the match.
So both players with 3 strikes and a spare. Bowker's wife was set. I'm sure watching at home. Children Raymond, Vicky, and Trina. Bowker is shaking his head, Marshall, a little bit. However, he's bowled very well.
I think it's the feel of the ball that he's still concerned with. Or possibly he thought that last shot should have struck. Will it? It's a 7-pin for Roger Bowker on a shot that was left off his hand. Wasn't able to pick up the friction off the lane. Therefore, couldn't power out that 7-pin.
Bowker hasn't bowled since Canandaigua. He said he needed some time off to work on his game, and it certainly paid off.
Well, Bowker makes a spare. That's right, that's a spare. And that's Jason Couch with a 1-pin lead going into the 5th frame.
Boy, Jason seems very relaxed, pumped up. I know he's disappointed last night with the way things turned out in that final match play game against Chris Barnes, but here he is.
Couch, the power player of the two, and he overpowers the pins. Light in the 1-2 pocket, 5-pin racing over, head pin to the sideboard. Oh yeah. Get mad at those pins.
Does that help?
It always help me.
279 high game this week, and just a 173 for that low game up in the 6th frame. Oh, yeah. A double for Jason Couch, and he has increased the lead now to 11 here in the semifinal match of the Brunswick World TSC. We're here in Overland Park, Kansas, the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. The Hall of Fame induction dinner took place Friday night prior to the start of match play here at Overland Park. This year's inductees, and not this year, but Johnny Petraglia, a member of the Hall of Fame. This year's inductees, Mark Williams, won the TFC twice. Also Tom Baker, 9-time winner. And in the meritorious service category, Kajiro Nakano, who's been the driving force behind the annual Japan Cup tournament contested in Tokyo since 1985, and the Japan Cup coming up in early December. Boy, that inaugural class, Marshall, included players like Dick Weber, Ray Bluth, Carmen Salvino, Don Carter. Not too bad.
Well, it's a very nice club. I'm very proud to be one of the members.
Bowker up in the 6th.
Trailing by 11. Now we're going to make that trailing by 12. Bowker fighting the feel of the ball. And boy, it's such a difficult problem to try and rectify, to get the ball to feel just right. The thumb swells and shrinks.
10-pin. All right. Show your PBA loyalty by becoming a member of the PBA Fan Club. Fan Club members receive quarterly newsletters, which include the latest inside information on the PBA Tour, tips and interviews with the pros, discounts on PBA merchandise, contests, so much more. Membership $14.95 plus $3 shipping and handling, and includes a PBA decal. And for more information or to join, call 1-888-440-1340. Bowker has to get striking, Marshall.
It looked cleaner off his hand, but boy, so clean it just went right through the lane. Never did hook at all. The 2-4-5 is left, and now a look of puzzlement on Roger Bowker. Ball coming in light. Head pin goes around the 2-pin, leaving the 2-4-5. Bowker does not change balls, shoot his spares. He throws the ball very straight and very accurate.
And you called it, picks up the 2-4-5. Jason Couch, though.
Oh, what an opportunity for Jason Couch right now. Up by 15 pins. Boy, if he could strike here in the 7th and the 8th, could make things very, very difficult for Roger Bowker to try and come back from. Good carry. 25-pin lead for Jason Couch.
Take your time.
Jason's father, Cliff, watching and enjoying, and Couch becoming much more of a veteran player, much more of a savvy player, understanding what it takes to bowl the right way on television, telling himself to take a little bit of time. 10 appearances this year.
And if it wasn't for Parker Bone, he'd be right there for Player of the Year.
No doubt.
Couch up in the 8th. Oh, my.
Come on!
You know, you said it before, it's almost a bit tougher to watch, isn't it?
But there's no offense or defense when you're watching. These two guys are good friends. They both live in Florida, but they're adversaries right now.
Bowker kicks out the 10-pin, a strike in the 8th frame.
Bowker 244, the best possible game he can shoot, and I believe Jason Couch right now working at a 249 pace. So Bowker finds himself in a situation where he must strike here in the 9th frame to put some pressure on Jason Couch and hope for an errant shot from Couch. Boy, he lofted that way out there. Boy, it's all
Well,
feel.
hook spot, and I guess it just ain't there when you throw it.
Take another look at a Dexter footwork of the pros. It's Roger Bowker, very methodical. Uses the number 4 heel, number 2 sole. Not a lot of slide. A Dexter footwork of the pros, and for Bowker, unfortunately, the 1, 2, 4, and the 10, not able to convert. Now down by 47 pins. Jason Couch here with 2 frames to go, Phil, and basically just kind of taking a victory lap.
Couch in the 9th frame. Strikeout for 279.
And what must feel like after leaving that 7 pin, not a big deal for Couch, has the game well in hand. He has to feel like he's been given some redemption. Look up, there's a skull inside that ball. I think it's a former player on our tour, retired or maybe left over from Halloween.
Picks up the 7-pin spare. Very interesting. Spare ball for Jason Couch. And he is the winner. So Couch just getting lined up now for that title match in Marshall. A bit of a grudge match, I guess, because he lost to Chris Barnes, final game last night. Disheartening. Got it way out.
Well, and that's the last thing that Couch wants to do, because that places just a little bit of doubt in his mind going into that next match. Wanted to make a good shot. He's already won this match, but wanted to make the good shot. His friend, the spare ball,
Yeah.
probably not feeling so good about that right now.
In golf, you could say you scolded, but in bowling. Trying to pick it up and opens in the 10th. Still shoots 230 for Jason Couch.
Well, it's enough for the victory, and you know, he did lead this tournament so long, and deservedly now gets to bowl against Chris Barnes. Roger Bowker makes a good shot in the 10th frame, leaves a 10 pin.
So Bowker, great regional player. I mean, he's won 5 national titles, but 24 regional titles. Can shoot .202, but it will be Jason Couch moving on to the championship match. Top prize $100,000 this week.
Well, for Bowker, $23,000 to probably make him feel a little bit better about that 3rd place finish.
Couch on the bench, maybe thinking a little bit, reflecting back on last night, the final game against Chris Barnes, and Barnes took care of him in that 48th and final game, and Roger Bowker strikes, but not enough because Jason Couch wins at 230 to 202. So lefty Jason Couch will take on our tournament leader, reigning Rookie of the Year, Chris Barnes. And welcome back, appreciative crowd. Himmler defeated Ozio in that opening match, 236 to 221. Roger Bowker then over Himmler by 27, and Jason Couch over Bowker. So no player has won more than just the one match. And we are just about set for the title match, but Marshall has a look at some other finishers.
And finishing in 7th place, Steve Hoskins. You know, he had the 4th high pinfall, but he didn't win many games in match play, so he doesn't quite make it to the top 5. Johnny Petraglia, this tournament puts the great Hall of Famer over $1 million, joins that $1 million club, and congratulations to Johnny. Brian Goebel, last year's winner of the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, finished 16th, and the local people certainly enjoyed watching him this week. And then Parker Bone III, 23rd place, unfamiliar position for Parker. Usually you find him in the top 5, but it's going to be good enough for Player of the Year, I'm sure, for Parker. What a great year he had. That's a look at some of the other finishers.
All right. Jason Couch against Chris Barnes. What an intense final game last night.
Well, it was, and you know, you had to feel for Couch last night. He led the tournament for so long and really had a couple 100-pin lead with like 3 or 4 games to go. But he started to slip away from him. You could see he was squeezing the ball a little bit, and Barnes just kept striking. In fact, Barnes averaged over 250 in each 8-game block of match play he bowled in. But that's all forgotten now.
Yes! All right, that's one. Opening frame. No doubt about it. Chris Barnes, 29, out of Wichita, Kansas. Grew up in the Topeka area. Went to Wichita State.
Barnes playing further left on the lane than any of our right-handed players. Chris's wife, Linda, who's a pretty darn good bowler in her own right. In fact, she finished 2nd in this year's U.S. Open. So she can play.
Well, they recently got married, but haven't had time for a honeymoon. Finally, after this tournament, they're heading to the Caribbean for a week. Chris going through a routine. 2nd frame, both players strike in the opening frame.
Wow. Come on.
Got the ball into the oil too soon. Wasn't able to get the hook back into the pocket. 2-4-5 for Barnes. Ball's coming in light. 2-pin goes around. Excuse me, head pin goes around the 2-pin. Hard and straight. Is that too far to the right? No, he covers it. He wasn't sure, neither was I, Phil.
Picks up the spare in the 2nd frame, so Jason Couch trying to take the early lead, finished 8th last year in the Brunswick TSC. Just seems much more determined.
Well, you'll see a very focused and determined player on this shot for the lead.
Talked to him about this particular tournament, he said, hey, it's like the Super Bowl of bowling. This is it.
Well, you know, and there's $100,000 first place. 32 seconds, so 68,000 between the two places. Biggest match of both their careers.
That's 3 in a row.
Jason Couch snapping out that 7-pin. Watch the 4-pin, second from your left, bang, right into the 7. Does he like it? 20-pin lead, he likes it.
Barnes up in the 3rd.
That's the one.
Barnes going with slower speed, playing further left on the lane.
Just like that one.
What a beautiful style from this former collegiate bowler of the year, member of Team USA, and $100,000 if you win this tournament. So he could surpass his entire year earnings.
And the players who were 2 and 3 as far as player of the year consideration concerned. Further to the right, and still does not hook back, and he thought he made a good shot. Ball did not hook back up. Leaves the 2 and the 8. You see the line that Barnes is playing. Ball rolls over around the 12 board. Does not create the friction necessary to get up to the pocket. Now he's got a tough spare to contend with. That sleeper 8 makes it difficult. He's looking at it.
And picks it up. So strike spare for Barnes. But Couch has started off with 3 in a row. And for Couch, a bit superstitious. A couple of weeks ago when he won in Bay City, had green shirt on. Same one. Well, I'm sure he washed it.
I think so.
But a bit superstitious, and he has 3 in a row to start this title match.
Solid 8, Jason Couch. Boy.
Ouch.
Yeah. A wry smile and an ouch from Jason Couch. From the outside trajectory, and he likes it right now, but the ball's going to drive right past the 8-pin. Another pin goes in front of the 8. Barnes has a little more life.
Couch picks up the spare in the 4th frame, but boy, that would look nice for the first 4.
He's got to be thinking, they're just not going to let this be easy, are they? Going to have to work for it, Jason. 19-pin lead for Couch. And he really is taking so much more time than normal.
Won earlier in Bay City, but he's making his 10th televised appearance of the year.
Well, there's a mess. There's the 2, the 4, 6, 7, and 10.
How do you make this one, Marshall?
Well, you need to get the ball to the left-hand side of the 2-pin, knock the 2-pin into the 4 and the 7. It's for what looks like as I said, a mess. It's very makeable.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he left this in the first frame of last night's the final game. And
Yes, he did. And you know what happens when you get nervous, Bill, is you get slow. And that's what seemingly happened to Couch in the 5th frame. To keep that lead. Makes 9 of them. Does not get the 6-pin. 14-pin lead. Now just a 3-pin lead. Chris Barnes right back into this match.
5th frame.
see it.
Now he comes in light on lane 24, and what's the deal? It's the deal is $100,000 for the winner and the Tournament of Champions title. The ball does not come up to the pocket. The 2, 4, the 5, and the 8, the bucket.
Another difficult spare. Rookie of the year in '98.
Difficult spare. He makes it. Phil, I remember, I know it was a long time ago, but 1976 I bowled Billy Hardwick for the title in the Tournament of Champions, and we both started out with a few strikes early, and then the nerves set in, and there were very few strikes towards the end of the game. We see Chris making the difficult spare and quietly confident, but is he confident in throwing a strike?
Sixth frame. Hooks it back and just the 8-pin.
He keeps expecting that ball to hook up high, and the problem he's having right now is if he does move far enough to the right, he's afraid the ball's going to hook early, go right through the nose. So I think he's trying to work this out by throwing slower speed. You can see that great rush he made from 7th to 5th and then up to 1st.
Oh, no.
And he just missed the 8-pin. So it is Chris Barnes down by 19 to Jason Couch in the title match. And we're back here in Overland Park, Kansas. Incredible Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. And Chris Barnes just got back from a lengthy walk in time to finish out the match. Disgusted, certainly, after missing that 8-pin.
Well, that is just a brain fade. Averting disaster, the 6 and the 8, and I'm telling you, Phil, it's a matter of speed. Jason Couch is not using enough speed to keep the ball on line, and he just barely gets out of this jam. Looks like the 6-8 split, but fortunately just the 6-pin. Needs to make this spare and then amp that speed up a little bit.
Couch up by 19.
Usually hard and straight at the spares. Couch goes for the big hook as he takes a re-rack on lane 23. Has to make the adjustment.
That's it.
He thought that was it, but I got news for you. That ain't it. 2, 6, 7. Ball comes in high on the head pin.
Can you make this?
Absolutely. It's the baby split with a little bit of company on the right-hand side of the lane, but certainly makeable.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
Jason Couch. Those are the type of shots that might define a champion.
Impressive.
Fits the ball perfectly in between the 2 and the 7. 2-pin goes into the 6. And is he happy about this one? That very well could be the difference between first and second place.
Much better shot.
And he was talking with his ball rep in between shots. Said he was being lazy at the bottom of the swing, not getting enough energy early. Ball wasn't making it back up the pocket. Much more aggressive shot from Chris Barnes.
Possible 224 for Barnes.
Can cut the lead to just 6 pins with a strike up here, in the 8th frame.
Well, much better shot.
Been light every time on lane 23. Must be aggressive.
Dang.
Well, a better shot. But it's going to be a 10-pin.
Freaking shot for 2 days. Stand here and get 9 all day long.
Again, he was carrying that shot all week long. Picks up the 10th pin.
Yeah, lanes change a little bit from day to day. Barnes upset with himself. He's putting his hand over his mouth because he knows he's mic'd and he wants to emote.
You were never worried about that, were you, Marshall?
Yeah.
8th frame for Jason Couch.
And a 7-10. My, what a great shot from Couch.
You're blowing a better game. Come on. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Ball into the pocket. Sure looks good right now, but 7-pin stands, 10-pin stands.
What a tough break.
If he picks up one of these, it's going to be a 3-pin match. Can he bounce it out? No.
Well, the 7-10's been picked up just 3 times on television, and not to be. What a match.
It's a good move. Come on.
Through the heart the last 2 times on lane 23. High scores all week, but for this much money and for this much prestige, not unusual to see struggling.
Right there, and
all but the 7-pin.
That's all you can do is make good shots.
He's made a couple of good shots down the stretch here. Chris Barnes, he knows the score.
I'm sure Barnes right now feels fortunate to have the opportunity. Actually, he can get up in the 9th and 10th frame and shut out Jason Couch. Both players struggling.
All right, spare the 9th for Couch. So Barnes comes up, and Marshall, what does he need?
Excellent shot.
Well, he needs 3 strikes and 4 pins. And he'll be the 1999 Brunswick World Tournament of Champions champion. But
be the best in your life. Come on.
9th frame. There's one. And I'll tell you what, Marshall, in that final game last night against Jason, he threw some clutch strikes to secure the top seed for today.
Well, he did. He threw great shots, starting from about the 5th frame as Linda Barnes looks on, appreciates the effort that Chris is giving. Strike here in the 10th frame, and Barnes would have his first lead of this match. And he has not struck on this lane yet. He has now. Barnes takes the lead.
What a pressure shot. Only 5 previous first-time winners in the TSC, making the first appearance and then going on to win. Billy Hardwick, Jim Stefanich, of course, Marshall Holman, Mike Berlin, and Mark Williams. He needs a strike here in 4 for $100,000.
Now, the 4 is the easy part. When I won in '76, I needed a mark in 5. It's the next shot that's going to be oh so tough, as Jason Couch can only watch. Will Couch have the opportunity to come up in the 10th?
Oh my, a 7-pin.
7-pin stands.
Now Couch can come up and win it with a couple of strikes and 7. Good, what a great shot, Marshall.
Well, it's going to be 193 for Chris Barnes. Couch needs 2 strikes and 7 pins to win.
Yeah, this is how it should be.
Well, this is very nerve-wracking for both of these players.
There's one.
One more. One more.
This one, and then 7.
Re-rack.
Couch.
And Couch wants a re-rack. And he asked for the re-rack before the pins were even set. This re-rack was taken specifically to give him more time to compose himself. And with all the telecasts that he's made this year, all that experience, I've got to like his chances. I really do. I think Couch is ready to step up.
Strike and 7. Couch is a winner. There it is.
One more.
Not getting too excited too soon. He just needs 7 pins, but
One more.
the most difficult 7 pins of his life.
Well, you hate to go back to that 5th frame, but a 5 count on his first ball. He also had a 7 count, a split in the 7th frame. So,
What, does he want to throw the ball hard and straight? Or is he going to go for a strike shot?
what would you do?
I don't know. That's why I'm up here. I'd throw the strike shot. Hook it in there.
7, that's enough.
He's got it. He's got it. That's the winner.
World Tournament of Champions champion, Jason Couch. Hugs from everyone. We'll be back. Jason Couch, your winner. Here in the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions, the title match, Jason Couch striking out to win it, 197 to 193 over Chris Barnes.
And now let's take a look back at today's key moment, the Ginkova moment of concentration. And what a moment it was. Jason Couch, second ball of the 10th, needs a strike here. He summons up all of his energy, all of his concentration. He gets the strike. He's the winner. And that's today's Ginkova moment of concentration. Think better. Think
Well,
Ginkova.
congratulations to Jason Couch, the winner of the 1999 Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Be sure to join us Saturday, December 11th, when the PBA's best players travel around the world to participate in the Japan Cup from Tokyo Port Bowl. Catch all of the action on ESPN at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming up next on ESPN, college basketball. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.